Okay, we'll get started. As per usual, we'll get started lying down. We'll make yourself comfortable. And we'll begin the class. So from your lying down position, making sure that you are comfortable, but that you don't resume a position that you may, as habit, get into. So try and consider in your mind how your body feels against the floor. If there's anywhere that you're holding tension, try and let that release away. Relaxing the arms, shoulders, adjusting the position of the head, the neck, to try and bring some length to the back of the neck while softening the front of the neck. Adjusting maybe your legs, the position of your legs, if that helps to release your hips, or maybe your lower back feels tight, so you might want to bend the knees for a while. Sometimes lying flat on the back with the legs straight can be challenging to start with. So adjusting whatever way you need to. Letting the eyelids close down if that suits you this evening. Noticing how you feel tonight. Noticing the energy levels that are within you. The energy you feel in your physical body. Not judging it, just noticing. The energy in the mind, how you feel within your mind this evening. Accepting where you're at. The breath flow. Noticing the flow of the breath. Is it a smooth flow or is it labored? Is there a challenge in the flow? Does your body move with ease to the movement of the breath? Or is there a little bit of a struggle in the chest as you are breathing in? And as we start our class this week, we'll bring to mind thoughts of gratitude. And for your class this evening, making a little private intention in your own mind of something that you want to give thanks for. Just making that intention yourself now. And we will offer the energy that comes out of your body, from your class this evening. That energy is offered up to that intention. Placing your left hand on your chest and your right hand on your belly. And just bringing focus on your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Noticing the rise of the body as you breathe in. Releasing down of the body as you breathe out. Allowing your mind to make that connection to the physical body through the hands, feeling the movement. that is generated into your body from your breath. Following your breath, bringing your mind connection into your body. Allowing yourself to be present in the moment, fully connected. And now letting your hands relax, your arms down along the floor, still focusing on your breath flow. And tonight, as you focus on your breath, we will say the following words in the mind, and you can not worry about having to amend the words if you need to. They don't have to be exactly right, but just close as you can. As you breathe in, you are saying in your mind, I arrive in this present moment. As you breathe out, I am home in the here and now. Breathing in, I arrive in this present moment. Breathing out, I am home in the here and now. I arrive in this present moment. I am home in the here and now. Focusing on breath. Letting the words of that little mantra seep into your mind. I arrive in the present moment. I am home in the here and now. Breathing in, breathing out. No judgment. Now leaving the mantra aside, just letting your breath flow naturally. Opening the eyes, bending the knees, feet on the floor. Just let the knees sway to the right and to the left, gently. Introducing just a little bit of movement. And now lengthening out the legs, lengthening the arms out overhead. Get yourself a nice big body yawn. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, relax the legs, bring the arms back down to the side. Take another 2 more of those lovely big body yawns. Lengthening the arms out behind you. Now feel the length in the spine and through the legs. Exhale. Getting that last big, lovely lengthening through the body. Feeling the sensation, the energy as you lengthen through, and then exhale, feeling the relaxation and the beautiful ease when you bring the arms back down. We're going to do a bit of joint mobility this evening. So bending both knees and lifting your left foot off the floor. Bring your hands behind the back of your left knee. So you're just kind of holding the leg, and you can look at me if you want to, if you're not sure. You're just supporting the leg with the hands. We're going to start off with the left foot. So we're going to circle the left foot, getting some mobility into the ankle joint. Nice circle motion. And I want you to think about trying to imagine you're painting a circle with your big toe. You want to paint the biggest circle that's possible with that big toe. And you want to see the mobility in the ankle. So rather than moving the whole bottom part of your leg, you're just moving the foot from the ankle. Change direction. And try and slow it down a bit so you can really see in your mind's eye, you can see how it feels in that ankle joint. And now bringing the foot movement to a stop. We're going to do a point and flex motion with the foot, pointing the toe, and then relaxing the toes and let the heel push away from you. Point and flex the foot. So you're still getting movement in the ankle and all the way up through the foot. Notice how that feels. You feel the movement in the lower part of the leg. Okay, relaxing the foot, relaxing the ankle, keep the hands on the leg for a minute. You're still have your hands on the back of the leg. We're just going to lengthen the leg, straighten the leg, and bend at the knee. Straighten and bend. So notice, is there any crackling noises in your knee joint? How does that knee joint sound? And don't worry if there's some crackling sounds in the joints. It's the synovial fluid that needs to get a bit of liquidity. So it might be dried up a little bit if it's not getting enough movement. The more movement you do, the better. Okay, so relaxing the knee. We're going to still keep the hands supporting the leg. You're going to do some circle motion from the hip joint. So moving that left leg in a circle motion so that the movement is at the hip joint. So if you can imagine you're moving your knee in a circle. So you're reaching the leg across into the right leg. You're moving the left leg in towards the right leg. Then you're reaching it away from you. And then reaching that left leg out to the left. Big, big circle motion from the hip. See if you can get as big a range of movement. Getting a nice big range of movement in that hip joint, depending on how your joint feels. Going in the opposite direction. If there's any little bit of irritability in the joint, just take it easy. Don't push the movement into a place that just doesn't feel good. Okay, so relaxing that left foot. Bring the left foot onto the floor. If you feel like you need to stretch it out, do that. Or else you can leave the left knee bent. And just for a minute, before we do anything with the right leg, just see, do you feel any difference in the left leg and the left hip versus the right leg and the right hip? It might be a little bit of energy in the leg. It might be a grounding on the left side, left hip to the ground versus the right hip to the ground.
Just noticing a little bit of difference there is there. And maybe you don't notice anything, that's fine. So we're going to pick up the right foot. You're going to bring the hands around the back of the knee just to support the leg. And we're going to start off with a circle motion from the ankle joint. So that right foot is moving circle motion. So watch out for sleepy joints, sleepy parts of the body. So just make sure the movement is just coming from the joint. Moving in the opposite direction now. See, is this leg, this ankle joint that you're working on right now, is it a bit more mobile or a bit more restricted than the other one? Okay, so coming back to a stop, you're going to point and flex that right foot. Taking the movements nice and slow so you can sense what's going on in your body. Okay, so relaxing that ankle. We're going to move the knee joint, so bending the knee, straightening the leg. No two limbs will feel the same. The right leg won't feel the same as the left. Maybe the knee joint might have a little bit of an injury on one knee, or there's different things that go on that could affect the performance of each of the legs. Okay, so relaxing that leg now, relaxing the shins. You still have the hands around the back of that right leg, moving the leg from the hip joint, getting a nice range of movement. Getting a nice big range of movement. Imagine that you're trying to make a big circle, drawing with that right knee. See if you can, with your left hand, maybe place the left hand onto the left hip, just in case, like I noticed in my own body, my left hip has started to try and move along with the right hip. So you want to try and just isolate the movement on the right side and not have the left side going along with it. Change direction in the right leg. And then gradually slowing down. Bringing that right foot down onto the mat. We're getting a little bit of movement in the wrists, so we're getting some circle motion in the wrists, so just raise the hands up in the air a bit and getting some circle motion with the hands. Might as well stay lying down on our backs for as long as we can. Change direction of the hands. Waking up those wrists. We'll be doing a little bit more warm up on the wrists now in a minute. And then relax the hands, shake them out actually, give the hands a shake out. Okay, so coming to roll over onto your side and coming onto your hands and knees. And that warm up that I was talking about, the extra warm up on the wrists. We've done it before in class, we haven't done it in quite a while, so it might be new to some of you. So what you could try and do, you might not feel comfortable, and you might need to look at me to see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is, I'm turning my hands, so you will take your right hand off the mat for a moment and rotate the right hand so that the fingers are pointing towards the outer edge of your mat, and then rotating the hand so the fingers are pointing towards your knee. So I'll just show you on the right hand side, the fingers point out to the edge of the mat and around to my knee. If you have an injury, don't do this. If you have an injured wrist. Do the same thing on the other hand. And you're just going to very, very, very gently just draw your body back towards the end of your mat just a little bit. You'll feel a very deep stretch into the wrists. And you might decide, no, I don't like that at all. Okay, so don't worry if it doesn't work for you. You just do a couple of those little lengthens. It's a very small amount of movement. You can feel it in your wrists. And then rotate the hands back to normal. Unless you want to stay doing your downward dogs in that hand position for the rest of the night. I'm sure you don't. So sit back onto your heels for a minute and just give the wrists a shake out. Especially after that warm up, it's quite strong. Okay, so we're back onto hands and knees. And we're going to do cat-cow. We'll start off with standard cat-cow and then I have a little variation for you after it. So starting off, shoulders over the wrists, ankles over the knees. Our first part, as we inhale, we dip the belly towards the floor, tilt the tailbone, and just gazing towards the top of your mat. So watch the neck, you're not stretching the neck. Exhale, draw the spine up to the ceiling, tuck the tailbone under, chin comes into the chest. Inhale as you dip the belly, just gazing slightly ahead. Exhale, moving along with your own breath flow. And identifying the movement in your spine, noticing is there anywhere there's a little bit of a challenge in your spine? And maybe ease off putting too much challenge into that space. Inhaling as you're dipping the belly. Exhaling as you're drawing the spine up towards the ceiling. As you're inhaling, you can sense an openness across the chest and a lengthening along the front of the body. As you're exhaling, bringing the spine up, you're getting length along the back space of the body. So taking the movement nice and slow. You all know this because you've done this a good few times. But try and see if you can improve the quality of your mind connection through this exercise. Improving the fluidity in your body. So coming back to neutral, a neutral spine, we're going to do the same cat-cow movement, but I'm going to mess with your minds a little bit. You're going to try and move not just in that cat-cow movement, but you're going to try and move your body in other directions as well. So as you are dipping the belly, you're moving the body out to the side and then drawing the spine up, and then you'll move your body out to the other side. So you're kind of moving your body sideways, crossways, while at the same time doing your cat-cow. So you're getting a lovely bit of bending of the elbows, moving of the shoulders. It just gets the spine moving sideways, shoulders moving, elbows moving, hips moving. Don't worry, there's nothing right or wrong about this. Just keep moving. Hips, shoulders, elbows, spine. Coming to neutral. I wondered what happened there in my body, probably. We're going to take a little rest for a minute. So coming into child's pose, bum down over the heels, lengthen the arms out in front, bring the forehead down, and bring your awareness back to your breath. So bringing the breath into the lungs, broadening across the back,
And really sensing that broadening across your back while you're in child's pose. I always like to think of it like I'm breathing into my tortoise shell. Like you've got your tortoise shell across your back. Walking the hands in, coming back up to hands and knees. We're going to take a very gentle downward dog. So curling the toes under, spreading out the fingers and the hands on the floor, pressing the hands into the floor, pressing the feet into the floor, very gently taking the knees off of the floor, drawing the tailbone up. Keep the knees bent, well bent. Good bend in the knees, tailbone is drawing up towards the ceiling. And I want you to press the hands into the floor, draw the tailbone up and get a nice bit of length along your spine and all along the leg, the arms. The knees are still bent. And now inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, walking your feet towards your hands, to the top of the mat. And we're in a folding over position here. So the upper body is folded over the legs, grasping opposite elbows. Let the crown of the head reach down towards the floor. You can have your knees bent here. It's not a big stretch on the legs. Getting a nice bit of length along the spine. Breathe in here. Release the hands. Let the arms just hang. Crown of the head reaching down towards the floor. And from here, I want you to take it nice and slowly, coming back up to stand. Imagining vertebra stacking on vertebra. So take your time, nice and slowly. Breathing, gradually coming up. Imagining you want to push back time, you want to really take it nice and slow. The arms are just hanging, stacking vertebra on vertebra. The last few vertebrae are the ones on the neck, then the head, shoulders relaxed. Crown of the head reaching up to the ceiling. Arms by the side. Take a few moments just to scan through the body, using your mind connection to your physical body, noticing how you feel. And in your mind, if you were to scan through the body, notice, is there one place that you can feel is a little bit of tension there? Make any modification you need to, just to get that tension to be released. So from the top of your mat, standing in Tadasana, arms by the side, shoulders relaxed. Toes pointing forward towards the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, folding forward, bending the knees if you wish. Hands come to the mat, stepping both feet back into plank position. From your plank position, option to bring knees to the floor if you wish. Shoulders are over the wrists, neck in line with spine, breathing comfortably here. On your next exhale, let the knees come to the floor, letting the elbows bend and gradually releasing the body down. Hands are on the mat level with your chest. Elbows are lifted but pointing back towards your feet.
And your shoulders are very relaxed. Your shoulders are not crunched up around your ears. Your shoulder blades are drawn back into your back, so your shoulder blades aren't lifted up. Pressing the hands into the mat, inhale, lifting head, neck, and shoulders. Keep your gaze on the floor. Crown of the head is drawing forward. Your neck is in line with your spine. Exhale as you release down to the floor. Let your whole body release and relax for a moment. Curl the toes under, press the hands into the mat, push up into hands and knees, nice and slowly like we've done for the last few weeks. And activating the fingers on the floor, so really pressing the heel of the hands to the floor, the thumb, the index finger, and then the fingertips, the pads of the fingers, up with on the remaining fingers. Just gripping them into the mat. Press the toes into the mat and pushing up into your downward dog. Adjust your feet position if you need to. And then just nice and slowly bring your left heel to the floor and lift your right heel. Then bring your right heel to the floor and lift your left heel. A nice slow pedal because you want to see, how do my hamstring muscles feel tonight? And just introducing that little bit of length to them. And then maybe see if you can draw both heels to the floor. Breathing. So both heels are drawing down. And I want you to picture the back of your thighs. So the back of the thighs are pushing towards the wall behind you. Inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. In whatever way is comfortable for you. So from the top of your mat, grounding the feet into the mat, inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, palms down to heart center. Inhale, reaching up, we're going to do the same thing again. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the mat, step both feet back into plank. And thinking about energy through the legs. If your knees are not on the floor and you have your legs straight, activate through the heels. Like you're pushing the heels towards the end of the mat. And at the same time, activating through the arms. Right through into the hands. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, lower the knees if you haven't already. Relax the toes. Lowering the upper body nice and slowly to the floor. Come into low cobra. Keeping the legs and the pubic bone grounded. Inhale, lifting. Just a little bit, not too much. Exhale, lowering down. Press the hands into the mat, curl the toes, pushing up nice and slowly into your tabletop. And then coming into downward dog. So this time when you come into your downward dog, you should be aiming to try and draw the heels in the direction of the floor. As I said earlier, pressing or drawing the back of the thighs towards the wall behind you. This time, bring your awareness to your neck. Relax the neck. Relax the head. Let the head just hang. Relax them all along the sides of the neck, into the shoulders. Inhale, look towards the hands. Exhale, walk the feet towards the hands. On your next inhale, coming up nice and slowly. Exhale, palms down to heart center. Okay, we're going to keep going with the sun salutes. We're going to just vary it a little bit. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. This time stepping the right foot all the way back to the back of the mat. So you're in a lunge at the moment. Right foot is all the way stepped back. Bringing your right hand a bit closer to your left foot. So the right hand is directly under the shoulder. Take your left hand off the mat, twisting through your core. So you're turning to your left. Reach the left arm up the ceiling. Now if you're struggling in the legs or the hips, you can let that right knee come down. So doing whatever suits you. And I want you to think about pressing that right hand into the floor and reaching the left arm up to the ceiling. And imagining the left shoulder over the right shoulder, getting that alignment in the body. On your next exhale, bring that left hand back down to the mat. Adjust your right hand. So bring the right hand just out a little bit. So it's just a little bit closer to the right edge of your mat. You're going to bring the left foot back. If it's possible, try and step the left foot back in one movement. But if it's not, just do what's comfortable for you. You're coming into plank. And we're all going to bring the knees to the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, lowering down. Lowering down to the mat. Coming into low cobra again. Keep the shoulders lovely and soft and relaxed. Inhale, coming up. Keeping your gaze on the floor. Exhale, lowering. Pushing up into tabletop really slowly. It's easy to do it fast, but try and use the strength in your arms to come up slowly. And then pushing up into your downward dog. Pressing through the hands while also relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders. Breathing here, so focusing on your breath. Focusing on the space all along the back when you're breathing in. Inhale, look towards your hands. As you exhale, walking your feet, feeling the connection to the mat with your feet. Coming to the top of the mat. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, draw the palms to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Hands to the mat. Step just the left foot all the way back to the back of the mat now. Bring your left hand in a little bit closer to the right foot. As you take your next inhale, you're going to turn around to your right with your body and then reach that right hand up, taking a nice big exhale. Breathing here. Think about lengthening through that left arm, pressing into the floor with the left hand while reaching through the right arm. Remember, if the hips or the legs are at you, you can bring that the back knee down to the floor. Watch that the knee in front is directly over your ankle. You might be able to cast a little glance at it. On your next exhale, bring that right hand back down to the mat. Readjust your left hand just out a tiny little bit closer to the edge of the left side of your mat. So taking the right foot back, try and do it nice and slowly and carefully. And if you can, do it in one nice clean movement. You're in your plank. Bring your knees to the mat. On your exhale, lowering nice and slowly down. So keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. pubic bone grounded, and the thighs and the knees grounded as well to the mat. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, releasing. Slowly pushing up, using the muscles in the arms, pushing up into your tabletop. And into your downward dog. When you're in your downward dog, again, focusing on your breath, filling the lungs with each inhale, and letting there be relaxation and softness in the body as well. So as you exhale, let that relaxation and ease come across the body. On your next exhale, looking towards your hands, walk the feet nice and cleanly if you can, feeling each step. Both feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, palms down to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Hands to the mat. Step both feet back to the back of the mat. So you're in plank. Okay, we're going to do something a little bit different. We've done it before, but it's a good while ago since we have. So what we're going to do is you're going to swivel onto the sides of your feet. Now, your left foot, you're going to be on the baby toe side, and on the right foot, you're going to be on the big toe side. So you're on the sides of your feet. Okay? So if you want to watch me, like I can see you, Margaret, you're watching, so that's good. If you're on the sides of your feet. So you're going to be on the baby toe side of your left foot and on the arch, big toe side of your right foot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do side plank, but what I want you to do is bring your left knee onto the mat now. So you're actually going to change that foot position of the left foot. You're just going to bring the knee in on the mat. So you're only going to have the right foot at the very back, and you'll be on the arch and the big toe of the right foot. So we're going to take a gentle side plank for a moment. Okay? And your left hand is on the mat and the right arm is reaching up. So this is a gentler side plank. Okay? So you're going to bring your right hand back down. If that version feels the best, we'll try the other one now. If that version feels the best, that will be your preferred side plank, okay? So the other, a little bit challenging version, you're going to let the left leg stretch long. So you're going to be on the baby toe side of the left foot. Take the right hand off the mat, and that's your side plank. If that does not feel good, go back to having the left knee on the floor. Okay? Try it for a second. And we're all going to come back down, bringing the right hand down to the mat. We're going to come down to hands and knees and take child's pose. You can have child's pose with both arms down along the sides of the leg, just to give your shoulders a bit of a rest. That was quite challenging, that side pose, or side plank. Okay, so we're going to come back down onto the belly, coming down with the hands and knees. So you're going to lie on your belly. So we're going to come into low cobra. So the elbows are bent, the hands are level with the chest. Inhale, lifting up just a little bit, feeling or sensing how the back feels. Exhale as you lower. Slowly coming up into tabletop. Pushing up nice and slow. Coming into your downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. We're not going to stay here as long as we have been in the other sun salutes. Inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, walking your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, palms down to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Hands to the mat, step both feet back into plank. Okay, so this time you're going to be doing it on the opposite side. So your right foot is on the baby toe side of the foot. Your left foot is on the arch and the big toe. Okay, you can go into either the challenging version or bring your right knee down to the mat. So the right knee on the mat, left leg is nice and long. That's the variation. Take a few breaths, making sure that your shoulder of that right arm is above your wrist. On your next exhale, coming to your normal plank, so rotating the feet so you're on the toes. You're in your standard plank. Bring the knees down to the mat. Take a rest pose for a moment. Bum over the heels. You can bring the arms down alongside the legs. Take a few moments to check in with your breath. Check in with your shoulders and how your shoulders feel after that side plank. Coming up nice and slowly into your hands and knees. Coming into downward dog. You're doing really well, ladies. From your downward dog, inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, palms down to heart center. Lovely. So I bet nobody's cold now after that. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of the standing poses. Have your block beside you. Have it on your left side. Your block or your book, whatever you have, and it's just on your left. So we're going to start off with legs wide open and feet parallel. When you're ready, don't rush. Take your time. We're doing it from standing. You all right there? Okay, so wide open legs, feet parallel. Coming into warrior two. So first off, turning the toes of the left foot pointing towards the top of your mat, and the toes of the right foot are slightly turned in. And bending your left knee. And before you do the arms part of warrior two, just having a look and making sure, checking in with that left leg, the knee is over the ankle. Good, strong, secure engagement of the thigh muscles in that leg. And on the right leg, just making sure that that right thigh is not kind of dragging the hip forward. Try and get some engagement in the muscles around that right hip particularly. A nice bit of openness across the pelvis. And just make sure that you're comfortable as well. So if you feel that that's a challenge to have that right hip drawing back a little bit, just relax it and just make sure that you're comfortable. Sometimes that openness is just too much in the pelvis for some people. So I'm saying engage the muscle on the right hip just so that's not dragging forward. But if it feels too much there, just relax that muscle then. You do what feels comfortable for you. Inhale, reach the arms out.
And as you exhale, you're looking down along the middle finger of your left hand. Your right arm is level with your left arm. Your shoulders are relaxed. And I want you to, in your mind's eye, just think about the connection of your feet to the floor. So through your left foot, the heel, the ball, the foot, the toes. Through the right foot, all around the heel and to the baby toe of that right foot. And I want you to imagine that you are putting so much strength and grounding through both feet that you could nearly split the mat in two, because the feet are drawing the mat to the left with the left foot and they're drawing the mat to the right with the right foot. There's a lovely bit of grounding and strength through the feet. And I know you feel like you could stay here all evening because I can see it in your faces. But we're going to change the position a little bit, but not too much. So you're going to bring your left hand onto your left thigh, nice and relaxed, no pushing down. Right hand onto the right hip. And I want you to imagine that your body, your trunk of your body is like a barrel. And you're going to roll that barrel so that the ribs on the right are drawing back behind you. The ribs on the left are drawing forward. So your chest, your belly is facing out where your face is directing. Okay? Make sure that left arm is not leaning down. Okay, so this is where we're going to add a little bit of excitement, but be very careful, okay? So you can watch me and take a little pause for a minute. You can come out of your position and take a little break and look at your screen. I'll show you what we're going to do, and we'll come back to this, and I'll bring you back into it in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to step that foot in a little bit, and then take this hand onto your block. Now you can see my back foot, I'm stepping in a little bit and a little bit. I'm gradually straightening this leg, lifting the back foot, and my balance is off tonight. Whoop. Actually a bit better without the book, I think. Okay, so I'm on my fingertips. The standing hand on the floor is on, it's on my fingertips. So if you're on the book or you're on the floor, it might be easier to do it on fingertips. All right, to come back to ground again, I'm bending my standing leg, bending that knee, gradually lowering the other leg, and then coming back up. Okay? So come back to the side angle one. Come back to the one with the arm on the leg, the hand on the hip. Okay? So the gradual steps are, you move in the straight leg, you're going to move that in a little bit, maybe an inch. And then take the arm that's on the leg, your left hand, you're going to move that, place the hand on the block or on the floor. You're on fingertips. And then gradually, as you're lifting the right leg, right foot, or bringing the right foot in a little bit, you're straightening the left leg. Nice and gradual. Now, I don't want any accidents. And don't worry if if the balance is off and it's not quite coming up. Remember, it's a bit of fun. Lovely, you're doing well. And we're going to come back down. So try and bend the standing leg, bend that knee, and then gradually bring the other foot down. Lovely. Lovely. You loved that, Elaine. I can tell by the look on your face. You did brilliant. You did brilliant. Okay. So you're going to take your block and you're going to move it to the other side of the mat. We're going to do it all again. Okay, so legs Good wide distance apart, feet are parallel. And pointing, turning the right foot out to face the end of your mat and the left foot turned in. And actually, now that we're changing direction, just make sure that you have somewhere that you've got space to move in this other direction. There's nothing in your way, or maybe you need to move along the mat a little bit. I have plenty of space here, but you know, you might not have it. There might be a chest of drawers or something near you. Okay, so bending the right knee, knee over the ankle on that right leg. Engaging the thigh muscles on that right leg. And you know, sometimes massaging the muscles, rubbing the muscles with your hand, it kind of makes the muscle realize, oh, it's me we're talking about. Oh, all right, oh, so that's the muscle that you want to engage. So, you know, engaging that thigh muscle and engaging the muscles around the pelvis on the left side and into that left thigh. So that, you know, you haven't just got a leg just drooping out there. You're using the muscles to activate along that left leg into the left hip. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, look along the right hand. Just looking along the middle finger of your right hand. Also conscious that the left arm is level with the right arm. You haven't got the right arm, but the left arm just hanging down at the back. Shoulders are relaxed. Breathing. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, bring in the right hand and the right arm down onto the right thigh. Left hand onto the left hip. So imagining your body is this barrel that you're going to roll. So you're rolling, the left rib cage is rolling back. The right rib cage, the underneath rib cage is rolling forward. So you have the front of your body facing the long end of your mat. And if you were just to point your gaze, your direction of your eyes, you'd be able to maybe look towards your left shoulder. You wouldn't be looking at the shoulder, but you're looking in that direction. Okay, so we're going to start with a little bit of the fun stuff. So remembering that you are starting off with the back leg, the back foot. You're going to step that in a little bit. And you're going to move your arm from the leg. So as you bring the hands down to the floor or to your block, you're gradually lifting the back foot, gradually straightening the front leg. And just for now, just getting the balance is probably enough. I know for me, anyway, my balance is off tonight, so I'm just getting that balance. And when you feel like you've had enough, maybe you've had enough already, bending the knee on the standing leg, gradually bringing the back foot down, come back to side angle, come back up to warrior two. Oh, lovely. Release the arms down by the side, straightening that right leg, turn the feet, the toes in, and walk the feet in together. Shake out the body, shake out the arms and the legs. Give everything a good shake out. Okay, we'll come down to the mat. You've done so much tonight. We'll come down to the mat. And we're going to do back bends. Lovely little bit of back bending. And what we're going to do tonight is bridge pose. We're not going to do flowing bridge. We're going to do your standard bridge. We'll come into it 3 times. You'll do this yourself. You count your breath out. Each time you're in bridge pose, you'll stay in it for 5 breaths. So you count out your breath flow. When you've done your 5 breaths, you come back down and then you come back up again. So you're going to do 3 bridges, each time holding it for 5 breaths. So I'll talk you into the pose. You know it well, I know you do. You come to lie on the floor. Ankles of the feet are underneath the knees and the legs are hip distance apart. And it's important that you have the leg position really good and solid, because your legs are really supporting you a lot in this pose. So you want to get that nice bit of joint alignment in the knees and the ankles. And also checking in with your mind's eye. You might not be able to see it, but have a connection with your mind's eye, that your toes are pointing towards the end of your mat, that your feet are well connected to the floor. Your toes are connected to the floor, your heels. So starting off, arms are nice and relaxed, as they always will be. And as you take your first inhale, you're taking the tailbone up off of the floor and gradually peeling vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Keeping the toes on the floor now. So as you're lifting the spine, keep the toes on the floor, grounding through the feet, lifting the pelvis, staying for 5 full breaths. And sensing how this feels for you. If there's any bit of modification that you need, have a sense of the legs and the action in the legs. Making sure that your knees are not dropping out to the sides. And when you are finished your first 5 breaths, take your time coming out of the bridge, nice and slowly. Remembering that the transition in and out of a pose is as important as being in the pose. So keeping the mind connection to the legs, solid connection of the toes to the floor. Sensing that support that the legs are giving you. When you have done completed your third back bend, and you take your time doing it, there's no rush. You will release out your back by bringing the knees to the chest and wrapping the arms around the knees. And just letting a nice gentle rock take place from side to side. Rolling back to center, releasing the feet to the floor, keeping the knees bent. Arms out to a T, we'll come into a twist. Letting both knees very gently release to the left, turning your head to the right. Taking the left hand and just placing it along placing the left hand on top of the right leg. Just adding a little bit of more strength to the twist.
Turning the head, looking towards the right hand. Breathing into the lungs. Particularly sensing breath flowing into the right lung. Releasing the left hand, left arm relaxes onto the floor. Bring your head to center, bring the knees to center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, releasing both knees to the right. Bringing your right hand on top of the left thigh. Just placing it there, no major pressure. Turning your head to the left, look towards your left hand. Sensing the breath moving. Inhaling into the left lung. Release your right hand, let the right arm relax onto the floor. Bring both knees to center, bring your head to center. Opening the legs out to the width of your mat. Bring the knees up to the chest, grasping the back of the knees with the hands, or grasping the baby toe sides of the feet. The soles of the feet are facing the ceiling. Rocking side to side. Breathing deep into your back, getting that lovely massage in your back. Coming back to center, release the hands, release the feet. Let the legs lengthen onto the floor. Get a nice big body on, reaching the arms up overhead, lengthening through the body. And as you exhale, relax the arms down. We're going to have Shavasana for the last few minutes, so you may want to grab a blanket to keep you warm for the next few moments of Shavasana. Letting your body come to a total rest. Giving thanks to your physical body for the effort that you put in tonight. For a moment, reflecting on the intention that you set at the start of the class, an intention of gratitude. Just reflect for a moment in your mind as we finish up this evening. Now let your mind rest on your breath. The ebb and flow of the breath, moving in and out. Breathing.
letting every muscle in your body ease and rest. Muscles, ligaments and tendons, totally letting go. Bones are at ease. Every fiber in your body is just releasing down to the earth. With each exhale, releasing even further. Taking this quiet time sense flow of breath. Taking this quiet time to connect to your true self. Bringing your awareness back into the space. Sensing the cool air on your face. Hearing sounds around you. Noticing the connection that your body is making to the earth. Gently moving fingers and toes. Bending the knees, feet on the floor, just letting the knees sway side to side. Letting the knees come back to center, rolling over onto your side and coming up to sit. Bringing your hands to prayer position at heart center. Bow our heads, paying respects to each other for coming to this class. Namaste. Thank you.
Thanks a million, Joanne. That was lovely.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Did you get on okay with that?
Oh, you went slightly quiet there. Oh. Thanks a million. I'm